This is something that I don't fully understand. The whole Taylor Swift phenomenon. Like I've been aware of her for a very long time. Obviously, she was one of the most popular acts when I was going through high school. So all the girls were listening to her during her pop country phase, and now she's kind of morphed into I would say I know what she sings now, but I have no idea. But she's been plastered everywhere in 2023. Hell, she won Times Person of the Year alongside other luminaries like Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler. But okay, why did she win Person of the Year? Well, it kind of makes sense, right? Like she topped a Billboard chart on several occasions, started the whole theatrical release for concert films, made the most money doing as such. Unfortunately, captivated far too many NFL enthusiast screens by the NFL constantly panning up to her in an attempt to try to get, the female audience, because Swifties are they love the person that they love. That's about the best way that I can put it. While I don't personally understand that, okay, there's a reason that Barbie was the most profitable film of 2023. Because bitches are fucking crazy, if we're just going to go ahead and keep it a buck. But Taylor Swift, for every popular metric, for anybody who's accomplished anything in that sphere, she's her. She deserved, at least if you were going ahead and grading in that aspect, she deserved to win. There's no other athlete who was really a runaway success on her level. No other entertainer. Hell, Hollywood was shut down for far too long for anybody to really, challenge her on that level. There was nobody who was in multiple successful films at a high level like that. In such an eventful year, in a new sense, she was about the only consistent and the most unremarkable choice that you could have made. So yes, I fully understand this. And a lot of people, I probably made a joke, and I don't want to go ahead and, just think that I'm above this. I've made comments that, oh, Taylor Swift is mid. Like, yeah, okay, I would say, she's a 6. And she's also an empty egg carton, so you can go ahead and, deduct as many points as you deem valid for that one. She's 34 years old, so whatever, man. She's fine aesthetically. Talent wise, I legitimately haven't listened to too many Taylor Swift songs to really adequately judge her on that, so I don't know, maybe that's an indictment in and of herself, but clearly she has an audience. And because Time at the end of the day is still a magazine and wants to get clicks, sell copies, they're just going to put the person that is such an easy bet and is such a safe bet to go ahead and move units. Taylor Swift is Time's 2023 Person of the Year, and apparently, I'm the only millennial woman on Earth that who doesn't feel seen. Holly Thomas. Do we even need to check the early life section on Wikipedia? If you know, you know, and if you don't worry about it. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but since the announcement, it's felt like a specific corner of Spotify got bitten by a radioactive spider and obtained superhero powers. I'm happy for her, I guess. Man, female solipsism, man, this is crazy. I've nothing against a seemingly pleasant person having a lovely time. I've seen some other clips of her as well, and to think that she's just a lovely person, well, maybe within the confines of CNN, okay, like that would be far more forgivable in that sense. But okay, Taylor Swift, there was a rumor way back in the cut prior to, Hillary Clinton and all that stuff, prior to 2016, when everybody's minds theoretically broken, where there was this rumor. I don't know if anybody can go ahead and corroborate this. I couldn't find any allusions to this. Maybe I'm just fucking making it up or something like that. But there was, I think it was an old, it was either Reddit or 4chan or something like that, but there was an old thread or something like that, and it was posting like super base takes to the point where if I repeated them on YouTube, I would get the channel taken down. But somebody was trying to make the connection, and it looked like there was some sort of viability that it was actually Taylor Swift using a burner account, like the same way that Kevin Durant likes to post based shit using a burner account on Twitter. But Taylor Swift was doing this back in like 13, 14, in on and around that area. But then she came out, with vote blue no matter who, stumping hard, appearing on stage with Hillary Clinton, with Joe Biden, baking Biden-Harris cookies, and then just becoming an avatar for the establishment, which is perfect for all of these chicks who just simply adhere to what the establishment has to say and calls you a bigot, Nazi, white supremacist if you just go ahead and veer just a little bit off the plantation. So I understand why the Democrats wanted to graft themselves to somebody like Taylor Swift. But yeah, bouncing ahead a little bit, because, okay, if people want to go ahead and call Taylor Swift mid, what do you call that? Jesus. Skeletor in a Susan Sarandon wig. Historically, title's recipient, Person of the Year, by the way, has often been a provocateur. No? Most notable individual? Like, okay. The idea isn't necessarily that the best person wins, though it's certainly been the case at times. It's that a person who's had the most influence, or good or ill, over the previous 12 months in recognition. Oh, yeah. Is recognized. Previous winners include Greta Thunberg, Stalin, Adolf of Austria, Martin Luther King Jr. That's a weird thing to throw all together. And Elon Musk. This year's shortlist included Hollywood strikers. Yeah, which, why the fuck would you even bother nominating them? Xi Jinping. He's a very, very profitable. He's a very strong dictator. Okay. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Russian President Vladimir Putin, Trump prosecutors King Charles III, and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. As you can see, the competition was weak. Without this maudlin write-up about how, I really just needed to see somebody that validated my opinions about this, there's been a lot of discourse, or at least there was at the time when this was announced. During the first week of December, everybody's seen the cover. They seen Taylor Swift was Person of the Year. And, well, it inflamed a bunch of people, mostly a bunch of right-wingers, which, okay, it's Time Magazine. Time Magazine that famously came out with that gloating editorial about how they fortified the 2020 election. Why do you think, okay, outside of just not even conservatives, Republicans' innate need to be validated by the same media that detests every fiber of their being? Their desire for clout is only eclipsed by that of your average internet thought. But I seen the cover and it's like, whatever. At least she blends in nice to the background. Like, okay, cool, whatever. She's Person of the Year. Frankly, I don't care. I put about as much stock into that as when people names the sexiest man alive. It's like, the fuck ever, man. Who cares? But everybody got bent out of shape about it, at least in the influencer sphere. Oh, the TradCon influencer sphere. That's what I'm talking about here. Oh, Taylor Swift. Oh, she's a psyop. She's bought and paid for by the Democratic Party. Oh, she's being used in order to push feminism. It's like, she's just a basic bitch, man. Okay, like I said before, she is somebody that just the average NFL fans knows. She's there in order to pop a rating and piss everybody off, okay? They just want to watch their stupid sports ball. They don't want to be inundated with some fucking blonde bitch up there in the fucking player's box, okay? They don't have to be reminded that, they ain't fucking some thin blonde, okay? They might be dating a thinning blonde that is pushing 300 pounds, but that's not exactly apples to apples. Stop getting worked up about shit that doesn't matter. With the specific metrics, if you even care about Person of the Year, which, again, that's like staking your entire fucking life savings on who ends up winning fucking Director of the Year at the Oscars. Who gives a shit? When was the last time that the Oscars even recognized relevant good films? When was the last time Hollywood even put out a fucking relevant or good film? But you could also make the case that, maybe Taylor Swift is kind of based, because Taylor Swift calls out the Soros family's shameless greed in the beef with a record company, because this is something that, okay, as my lack of knowledge when it comes to anything that Taylor Swift does, I do remember her having beef with her former agent or some shit like that. Her former agent ended up buying all of her masters of some of her earlier work, or when she switched record labels or some shit like that. Like, okay, for as shady as Hollywood is, okay, the record industry, there's a reason that there's very few musicians of note in today's day and age, because the industry is a fucking scam. But pop superstar draws criticism as white supremacists, which also kind of harkens to, I don't know, something else that you're just probably seeing. What is that? Right there? Yeah, no, this plays extremely well, all things considered. Pop star draws criticism as white supremacist, seen associating with her post with widespread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories about Soros. Don't you dare criticize George Soros because you would be anti-Semitic. Somebody who used to work with, okay, weird. See how that just gets tacitly thrown around. Something that's been going on for, well, at least 4 years, but I think we all know much longer than that. Taylor Swift is drawing criticism for calling out the Soros family in an Instagram post. It was the latest salvo in the pop superstar's ongoing battle with her former record label. The family long has been at the center of an anti-Semitic conspiracy theories that they run media about Jewish domination of global banking. Well, I mean, there does seem to be an overrepresent. Anyways, George Soros, a Hungarian billionaire. Would he consider himself Hungarian first? I'm just wondering. Billionaire and liberal philanthropist. That's the nicest way I've ever heard George Soros been described. Typically is the main target. No, normally the conspiracy theory that is associated with George Soros is all about, the dissolution of society and trying to push one specific agenda, something great replacement, something, but just not in our country. One of those conspiracy theories with George Soros, but okay. But his son Alex, the deputy, well, now he's taken over. Again, this was an article that was written way back in the cut. Open Societies Foundation, an international group that promotes liberal causes. Yeah, that's what they do. They also don't influence attorney general elections all around the country. No, of course not. They also do Senate and House representatives. Has begun to feature in them as well in a Twitter post in which the singer lashes out against a new album being released by her former label, Big Machine Records. Swift claims that talent manager Scooter Braun, there we go, is using money taken from several sources, including Alex Soros. The hugely popular singer has an ongoing nasty and public fight with Big Machine Records. Swift recorded her first 6 albums with Big Machine, but left the label before the release of her 7th, titled Lover. I don't really know, nor do I care. In June, the label also released original records of her songs, known as masters, to talent manager Braun. Yes, they ended up going back and forth, but how does Soros end up working into all this stuff? After I was denied the chance to purchase my music outright, my entire catalog was sold to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings in a deal that I'm told was funded by the Soros family, 23 Capital, and that Carlyle Group, Swift said in December. Okay, where does the anti-Semitism come in on this one? Okay, Swift doubled down Thursday night on Instagram after she found out the Big Machine was planning to put out an album of her live performances. She believes that they want to make money off of her during the COOF pandemic, calling out the Soros family, Braun, the Jewish industry giant associated with the likes of Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande. Oh, that's the first time that's ever been affixed to anybody, huh? Okay, and the private equity firms involved in the sale, Swift wrote that the decision to release a new album is just another case of shameless greed in the time of the COOF, so tasteless but very transparent. And what is the first thing that they do? Oh my god, you're being so anti-Semitic. So yeah. Is Taylor Swift secretly based? Is she also reading between the lines? Does she have a secret Gab account that we're not aware of? Nah, man, she's just a chick in the entertainment industry who had a really good year, and in a year of really weak competition, ended up taking home Person of the Year for actually very justifiable reasons. So, TradCucks, right-wing snowflakes, just fucking calm down for a second. It's an award that you don't give a shit about from an industry that doesn't fucking like you all that much. Just chill and go back to, I don't know, thumping your Bible and hoping your wife doesn't cheat on you and take half of your shit. I don't know what you fucking TradCucks do, but be fucking ineffectual somewhere else and raise somebody else's kid. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.